may Allah bless these people and make, you know, life easy for them and each and every elderly person. I think today it must really be difficult for the elderly people, Muslim or not Muslim, because the world has changed so much. And everything that you've known must have just changed. And think about it, the people you know, if you're old, most of them are probably dead. And the world we live in today, nobody's got time for you. You know, we don't have time. People today don't have time. We don't have time for our own parents. We don't have time for the elderly, let alone like grandparents or whatever, and that kind of. And they're just on their own, and the world's turned so fast, and everything's about social media, which they're not even a part of. And, you know, and now it's winter time. I'm just saying, a lot of old people struggle in countries like the UK. May Allah, you know, bless each and every one of them and make their life easy. And some of these governments, wallahi, tyrants, you know, what they do is they make life more, you know, like the bills go up for the elderly, and they don't offer them tax, they should get substantial, seriously, they should get substantial, almost entirely subsidized heating for the elderly. If you make me president or prime minister, president would be difficult since we don't have one in the UK. I would definitely believe that's a fundamental right of the elderly in this country, to have free heating. Things like this, inshallah. And I think just even creating communities where they could be visited. And I've read something, I listened to this kind of research that was conducted by Harvard. And it was shocking, you know, wallahi, that it said that the greatest cause of death in these people, in a very longitudinal study, that was spanned actually 70 years, believe it or not, it was a massive study, was actually loneliness, and not what you might think. You'll think disease, or you think this, or you think that, but loneliness actually kills people. And it's true, you know, like I've known people from my own relatives who, my own kind of nan, who became incredibly lonely after my uncle passed away. And he was actually some person who is, you know, in my life, if there's been amongst the few people who have been true heroes to me, who have always looked at as heroes, he's always been one of them. So cool, honestly, such a cool guy. His name was Nadeem Khan, and he was he used to run his own crime unit. He was a police officer, ran his own crime unit in Karachi. A legend of a person, honestly. Amazing, cool-looking guy. Looked a bit like Anil Kapoor, to be fair. Always blessed with the looks, and he grew up mainly in Karachi and stuff like that. And he died at almost a decade ago, over a decade ago. He was killed, actually. You know, may Allah, you know, bless him and grant him elevated maqam in Jannah. But he was just so amazing and cool. Seriously, one of these guys in that place that just had style, man. I used to always be like in awe of his style. He used to have so much style to him. And he took care of me when I was studying in Pakistan a lot. Like, went out of his way to kind of take care of me and stuff. And that was like, so that family of mine lived there in Karachi anyway, and my nan. But when he was actually somebody that tried to rob him. When they tried to rob him, like, he was on a motorbike in civil clothing. He used to wear civil clothing generally, and he was like one of those undercover kind of, used to run a whole crime unit. And when the person tried to rob his mobile phone at a busy kind of junction roundabout, when he turned to look, the guy recognized, oh my God, this is that sub-inspector and I'm dead. So out of fear, he just shot him. And the gun was so close to his heart. You know, it was, I still till today, it's kind of surreal for me. But when he passed away, within months, my nan became so lonely that she passed away. And you see that with some people, that sometimes when they become incredibly lonely, they just pass away. And the research actually showed this. You know, may Allah bless them and bless all people who have gone through these kind of struggles. And I have to say my uncle's thing was really touching for me, because I think I'm somebody who, you know, like if you're not in sight of me, I can be kind of like very, like maybe I don't maintain contact with people as much as I would if you're in front of me. So, you know, a bit of like out of sight, out of mind, like you're busy doing your thing, like I'm in this part of the world, he was in that part of the world, and I'd got busy, and I wasn't maintaining much contact, and I remember I sent him a text message, just probably about just a random text message after months and months on end of not being in contact, and just saying that, are you okay? Just how are things? And it was about 2 weeks actually before he got killed, and he just texts back and saying, yeah, it's good to hear from you, everybody's well, and you know, this and that, and then obviously he passed away, and I think that helped with a bit of that closure. And I'll tell you what, it's weird, because it's interesting, because sometimes people have asked me about things like dreams, and I don't really value, I kind of downplay all these things like dreams, but I think like I was really bothered by me not being in touch with him for a substantial while. And I think what had happened was, I saw this dream once, and I saw him in it, and we were in his house, and it felt so real, and he kind of met me just casually, and just kind of as we did, like there, we just like, let's say, just shake hands, or sometimes just hug. And I hugged him, and I, in the dream, like, I didn't let go. And I just said to him, like, I'm really just sorry, I guess, for just not being in touch, I guess. And he was just so cool in it, and he said, what are you talking about, man? He said, it's all good, man, it's all good. And it meant so much for me. God, I shouldn't have talked about this. Alright, I'm gonna have to call this call it a night, inshallah. There's I just remember the words of Dagh, actually, the poet, where he said that Waqt-e rukhsat gale lagate Dagh, that at the time of departure, by hugging hugging us, Dagh, hasate hasate rula gaya koi, that, you know, whilst in a state of laughter, somebody left us in tears. But it really, that meant so much to me for closure. But yeah, so I guess these things do have their own incredible meanings. People, it's been awesome. I don't usually share emotional stuff, but yeah, nevertheless, man. Shukran for all of you.